All right, well, here we go. I said, I think it was sometime last week, I said I was going to do a Leo soap opera. And I tried, and it wouldn't let me, and it ended up a reading with Steve, or a reading with me, as I call it, right? Well, today we're doing a Leo soap opera because I feel like it. Because I think it's the perfect time. Mercury is heading retrograde in Leo. I think it's a perfect time. I've got somebody, I can just tell you from the energy, straight up, from what I picked up in, I'll talk about the pre-shuffle. It's just going to back up what I say. But somebody here is okay with the fact that their life is what it is. They're okay enough with it. All right? They sit, it's the same person we always talk about in the Leo soap opera. It's the same energy. All right? They're okay with the fact that their life is what it is. Fine, okay, you know, superficial, got to keep up appearances, all that kind of, you know, all that kind of stuff. Could be a family thing, stifling. It could be a marriage, whatever. They're okay with that. But part of them is getting restless. Part of them is wanting to move away from that, okay? They're sort of asking themselves the question, is being okay with something enough, right? Time is running out. Sort of a thing. It is that feeling. Anyway, whether time is running out or not makes no difference. You can feel like time is running out at 25 years old. I mean, I know plenty of people that have. The tower, surface energy. I said, what's this Leo soap opera about? I got a surface energy. I got a tower, crossfire, six of swords, and an ace of wands. Just looking at these three, and there's like three sections to this surface energy. Somebody here wants to do something. They would love to move on. But there's just this content, comfort with what they have and this fear of the unknown or whatever. Somebody would love to make a quick decision and make a change, you know. But they hold themselves back. And I think this reading will help us figure out why, maybe. I don't know. I do. Spoiler alert, there is an Eight of Wands here. Okay, so somebody might come towards you. They're still holding out some hope. But they keep holding themselves back. And this really, and I'll tell you why they might show up and why that Eight of Wands is there. This really puts three swords in their happiness. Whenever we fit, well, I'm content with things as they are. You know, I'm settling. Whenever we settle, we have to talk ourselves into it. If you have to talk yourself into it, you know, you need to take a look. You need to turn that around and take a look at why you're talking yourself into it. Somebody here is settling. They're settling for the status quo. They hold themselves back from making any real moves that they'd love to make. They know it'd be great, or at least they dream it would be great. But it really puts, sitting tight is putting three swords on their happiness, and I think that's in no small part because Mercury's retrograde in Leo. But that's affecting the Leo angle on the soulmate cycle. It doesn't matter whether your person is a Leo, or you're a Leo, or you just identify with the Leo soap opera. It makes no difference. The soulmate cycle is a cycle. We split it into 12 pieces. Slice number 5 we call Leo, right? And that energy is being affected here. And that's painful. That is a painful energy on top of the happiest energy I've got. Somebody here holds out hope a little bit. 3 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and 8 of Wands. That you might still be there. Can I phrase it like that? That's the way it feels to me, all right? Or you are still there. Just, you're the reason that they don't lose it completely here. I don't know. This is painful, whatever this is. So somebody's realizing they settled. And maybe they're wondering whether they should keep settling. I mean, I'm not saying they're probably going to decide that they will do something, but let's pull a pyramid. Let's see where we go. This is how they feel about you. Let's focus on you and this person. In their life, I've just told you how they feel. They feel like they settled. And that's toxic in and of itself. Because we're not supposed to do that. We're here to learn and grow, right? The worst thing you can do is get to the end of the road and have not grown your energy at all. Have not learned anything, gained any wisdom, done anything. You were just a vapid consumer who cared what other people thought and kept up appearances and all that. That's like the worst way to end because you pay for that. Trust me. You pay for that in the next lifetime. You might not even come back as a fucking human. You know, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention have a song. It's called "Help I'm a Rock," right? It was on one of my parents' albums that they had. They had "The Worst of the Mothers," which was which was their version of a best of album. And it's just "Help I'm a Rock, Help I'm a Rock." That's the lyrics. You know, it's Frank Zappa, so it's crazy shit. But yeah, imagine you came back as a fucking rock. You know. I'm not saying you will, but Anyway, I think this person is realizing some things, you know. We get messages from the future all the time. Science has proved that, especially in the quantum world. Particles get messages from the future all the fucking time, and the past. So at the end of the day, this person is getting some kind of signal that they don't know how to read that's making them look at the fact that they've settled. And that's a toxic energy. That can be a very toxic energy when we start asking why. And that's kind of what they're doing, and that's what that Three of Swords on top of the sun was about. They hold out hope. I don't know what the hope is for you, though. I'm still shuffling. Just let me riff on the energy here. You're coming to get a reading from an energy reader. Let me fucking riff. Because I don't understand what the hope is in regard to you. I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe it's because there's too many people watching, right? If it was just one person, I might be able to. But the hope in regard to you, is it that you'll reach out? Are they expecting you to show up in front of them, or that you... I feel like it's more that you just cross paths again. I think you've left their orbit in some way. I don't know how. It might be more severe for some of you and less severe for others, but you've left their orbit in some way. I think they want you back in orbit, at least. You know, something. Give me something to spy on, sort of an energy, sort of a thing. You know. I think you give them something to believe in some way. And again, roles can be reversed. I can't tell you apart from your soulmate still because your frequencies are really, really close. They're pretty much the same. But yeah, I think we're done here. But I'm pretty good at telling which energy is which. You know, if this is you, yeah, do some hard thinking about why you settled. Keep asking why. You could end it being okay with it. Just, you know, learn the lesson from it. If you learn a lesson from it, you grow your vibration. It's the people that never think about it, right? They just settle, and then they never think about it, and I call them vapid consumers. They just go through life as, you know, cogs, basically, right? So as long as you're learning, you're fine. You know? Okay. I think this person learned something. The bottom of the deck here, the overall energy is a fool. And it's fueled by, and the deck actually broke. This whole bank of cards flipped. So there's probably a few cards in here. There's the toxin that we need. It was like a bank of cards. And there's the Seven of Swords with the Devil. There's the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody really, 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 really wishes they could get free here. King of Wands, the Burger King, keeping up appearances. They admire you. There's you. That's about as far as I can go, I think. Although they look at it coming your way. But it's way back here. It's way back here behind this stack. You know? This person here really worried about keeping up appearances. This person's still worried about what you think of them. Why? You may not even you might be like, and I wouldn't blame you. If you were like, Steve, I never even talked to this person very much. They just, you know, I just felt the soul connection, and you know, yeah, you made an impact on this person. They care what you think about them. It's really weird. They do. There's definitely something they want to get straight with you. That's just in the energy. It's not really here in this stack of cards, but somebody thinks that the way you live your life isn't possible for them, but at the same time, they know it is. They know that they're just being, I don't know, self-sabotagey, right? The Fool crossed by the main energy here in the overall energy of the reading, there's a lot here, is the Fool crossed by the Four of Cups, okay? It's sort of a you know you wanna energy, right? It's what we've been talking about. It makes sense for the overall energy. It's a real risk for this person to come towards you and start a whole new journey. It'd be a whole new life for them. Because they're used to this. There's no way in hell they're used to this, right? Nine of Pentacles, Minor Arcana Empress, you, the real Empress. Which is why it's easy for them to tell themselves that it's all just nonsense, that it's all, you know, it's all bullshit. You know, they couldn't live that way, or you're not really like that. Actually, you are. You know, a lot of DFs in this cycle follow their passions, they're doing it. All right, let's go. Anyway, let's see where we're at. How do they feel about you? The Emperor. I believe that. You matter to this person. I'm going to riff on the energy a lot. That's why I grabbed the Rider Waite. The Rider Waite is sort of a deck that's down the middle, right? I can really riff on the Rider Waite. You matter to this person. All right. And I don't know why. I feel like for some of you, this person's long gone, or you only had a tertiary contact with them for some of you. For some of you, it's much more than that, but I'm just talking about for a few of you. What else? Two of Pentacles. They hold on to your energy. You matter to this person. What else? The Hermit. The Hermit is read with this. They feel this soul connection. They feel this soul connection, but they also feel that you're, how do I phrase this? It's a little bit of hocus pocus on this, but it's the only way I can phrase it, so just bear with me. They feel like your soul is more powerful than them, right? It's like, I don't know, it's like they're Darth Vader and you're Obi-Wan, and it's Darth Vader admitting to themselves that you're a little bit stronger, that the good side of the Force is stronger than the dark side or something. You know, I don't know. I don't know how else to phrase it. I say this a lot about this person in the Leo soap opera. They strike me energetically as somebody who fancies themselves spiritual. Might have been somebody who, I don't know, studied religion or is very religious, went to a fancy school and looked at religion and stuff. I don't know. They might be very artsy. That's possible too, like an actor type thing, so they went into different things or whatever. I get it. They fancy themselves spiritual, but then you come along with your logic and your actually doing shit and your real deal fucking Empress energy, not some phony ass bullshit, some real deal Empress energy, and you kind of showed them that they weren't. That's why they keep you around. They'd love to get rid of you, but they keep you around. I think the connection's energy on their side is coming up as Mercury retrograde sets in. I'm kind of bringing in the Mercury retrograde energy here, okay? And I think the connection for them gets stronger as this goes. And I think that's good. It'll help them really question why they settled, okay? Because they really did. And that's toxic. Settling is toxic. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to gain wisdom. You know? I mean, it is. It is that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Jimmy Buffett got a whole song about it. It's ringing in my head right now. It's called He Went to Paris. It's on his Pink Crustacean in a White Sport Coat album or something like, it's called something like that. Right? It's called that song. It's really about that. It's about how years slip away and, you know, things along those lines. Yeah, and we settle. And the next thing you know, you're 86 years old. And, you know, you're like, interesting. A lot of time went by. You know. Somebody here is hyper aware of the passage of time for sure. Okay? All right. How do they see you? This is really going to be interesting because this is just feelings, right? How do they see you? Hangman. What else? The King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're different from them. It's like, how do I see it? How can I phrase this where it'll make sense for people? Imagine you're both famous. Okay, just go with me for a moment, okay? Imagine you're both famous, but they think your fame is better than theirs. The way you get to live it, it's cooler, it's better, it's more awesome, right? Theirs is more stodgy, and they have to be careful about what everybody thinks, and they have to, you know, they have to keep up an appearance and put a wall around stuff that they don't want people to see. But you just put yourself out there. You're just, you know, out there doing your thing. They see you as the King of Pentacles, but in a different way. But they also see themselves as this kind of energy. This is their security blanket on their side. But your way is better. They see you as being on their level, but better. All right? It's the only way I can phrase it. It's the only way I can phrase it. They see you on their level, but better. All right. Which makes it all the more confusing why they don't come running towards you. Sort of. There's an intimidation factor, I suppose. You know, I mean, not everybody. I don't have the nervous gene. I don't really get nervous about stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I suppose I can't really say. I think most people would get nervous. I think you might intimidate this person a little bit. I get it. Okay. Potential final outcome for you. Okay. And we're going to clarify whatever needs clarifying here. You relax. But here's a potential final outcome for you. So what happens here? It's read with the Two of Pentacles. Somebody really holding on to your energy. You're going to pick up on that during this, especially during the Mercury retrograde phase here. Okay? you're going to pick up on somebody holding on to your energy for sure. You will be thinking about this person. You will be feeling about this person. You will see things that remind you of this person. I'm just telling you straight up. Don't worry about it. It's not your problem. It's their problem. Remember that, and you'll be fine. Chuckle. When you see something that reminds you of this person, or start feeling this person, or thinking about this, just give it a chuckle, just because you know that they're in this spiral of why did I settle? Why? And they're not for real. They're really feeling you, big time. Potential final. They took a peek. Potential final outcome. I took a chance. I knew it's 10 cups. Yeah, I think. If I'm to be honest, do you want me to be honest, or do you want the rainbow unicorn read? Okay, I'll give you the read everybody else would give you if they threw this card. You're going to hear from this person. You're going to get what you want. Everything you ever wanted from this person, you're going to get. That's tarot gold right there. That's an easy read on the 10 of Cups. I don't think so. The energy feels fluffier to me. I think you guys, I'm going to put some hocus pocus on it. Either you might be meeting up on the astral plane, all right? Or this person's going to pop up in your dreams, which is something I didn't mention when I was talking about all this stuff over here, where they're holding on to your energy and you might see things that remind you of them. Those dreams are important, okay? The dreams that are happening for them, that they might show up in yours, and you might dream about them, etc., so you show up in theirs, is laying the foundation for maybe you getting what you want, okay? Maybe this person reaching out, okay? This is an important step. I will say that, okay? That I will say. But I will not call it communication. I will not say they're going to reach out, you're going to get what you want. That would be irresponsible, because this requires a lot of faith. It really does. And this person, they don't have that kind of faith in themselves, right? The fucking cloud is trying to hand them a goddamn gold chalice, and you know, let them do what they do. Let's clarify a couple of things. All right, let's do it. Let's grab the witches. Yeah, I believe it. It's a Leo reading, right? Leo soap opera, randomly at the bottom is 7 swords, and that's important. Yeah. All right. Why are they holding on to your energy? Let's find out. Tell me about 2 pentacles. Let's find out why they're holding on to your energy. I'm not going to clarify all of these. I don't need to. I'm going to give you the good stuff. That's all. Well, I'll clarify most of them. I don't really care. I don't have anything else going on, but I don't want to confuse the energy. But I'll do a bunch. We'll be fine. I might even extend this. I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends what we get here. I'm not sure. I like extending Leo soap opera readings, though. I don't do it very often, but I do like doing them. I like to go deep on this person. And if you do that for 7,000 to 10,000 people, you're not going to hit the nail on the head too much. It's too scattered. All right, here we go. 2 of Pentacles. Why the fuck do they hold on to your energy? Well, the short answer is they like you. 6 of Wands. You're the only, I say this a lot, you're the only reason this person gets up in the morning. They're really holding on to your energy. It's really weird. I don't get it. I mean, I do. Look, the Ace of Cups, it's almost like they hope that some magical elf comes in and makes them available, put you two right together, because there's so much untapped love here. That's why that's the hocus pocus. That's the energetic reason why they hold on to your energy, because there's untapped love. There's a lot of it. Love is the most powerful force in the damn universe. It's huge. All right? It's huge. Somebody wrote in once, said something about, oh no, Steve, it's gravity. Gravity is weak as a force. Ask any scientist, they'll tell you gravity is weak. It is. You can, as big as the earth is, you can still jump and get off the ground on it. It takes something, you know, I mean, gravity is not a strong force. Love is a strong force. It's amazingly strong. It could change a hawk into a little white dove. It really can. All right, what's on top? It takes a massive object to even, if you weigh like 150 pounds, for example, just down the middle, it would take a massive object to hold you in place. It would take something huge. Something the size of the earth can't even do it, right? I mean, you know, so if gravity were really strong, if you stood next to a building, you wouldn't be able to move. The gravity of that building would hold you in place. You'd be trapped, right? It's not strong. Love will keep you stuck, won't it? It'll keep you trapped. It changes a great big hawk into a little white dove. Huey Lewis said it can't be wrong. It's the Hierophant here. This is big. Why is that here? The Five of Cups. Somebody won't let it go. Why do they hold on to your energy? Because they won't let it go. Because it feels so good. It feels good. And then it feels bad because they did nothing. And this energy, this dichotomy right here is exactly it's exactly what's going to happen during Mercury retrograde in Leo for the Leo soap opera. This is it. This is somebody who feels this connection on a high level and then realizes, what have I done? There is untapped love here. There's untapped love in this person's life. Their life has nothing. It feels like nothing to me. It feels all fluffy and superficial. It feels like they are living the life of a vapid consumer, as I would call it. You know what? How do they see you? What's the bridging energy? Yeah, the Eight of Swords. I'm right. This is going to fuck them up, okay? Their feelings right now, and I'm going to say during the transit, the retrograde of Mercury and Leo. Eight Swords is the bridging energy. They hold on to it. They don't know why, but they do know why, but they don't, but they do, but they don't, but they do. It's the old country song again, right? But they don't, but they do, but they don't, but they do. They don't. They don't know what to do with this. They want you back in their orbit. I get that. I want to talk about this here. I'm not worried about the Emperor. The Emperor is going to come with this. But I know somebody is feeling the connection. And as far as their feelings go, the connection is coming up. Somebody's feeling their inner Emperor here. And which might give them the notion to do something. At least it'll spur some dreams on. Okay? They think you're everything they are, but better. Now, that's the way I'm phrasing it. Don't take me literally. Okay? But it's the best way to phrase the energy. There's no other, I don't know how else to put it. You just got to catch my drift. If you can't catch my drift, I'm sorry. That's the only way to put it. You know? I don't know how else to phrase it. All right. Let's go. The Hermit. It's the best way to describe that frequency of energy, that set of frequencies. All right, let's go. It's crossed by the Chariot. What's on top? The Queen of Pentacles. There you are again. What's on top of, why is that here? Eight of Pentacles. When bridging energy is the Knight of Pentacles. They can't get you out of their soul. You're just living rent-free in this person's feelings. It's everywhere. You're infesting them. They got to call the Orkin man to get you out. Okay? They got to call the exterminator to get rid of you. I mean, if they wanted to, and I don't think they even would. I think the Orkin man would pull up and go, no, we can't do this. Okay. Is there anybody else I can call? No, nobody will take care of this for you. This is a deep soul connection. And you probably tell your person, you're the Emperor, and they're the Empress, and you need to fucking do something. Grow a pair, Mr. Cement Throne, right? Male or female, doesn't matter. Why do they feel like your soul is stronger than theirs, or you live your life more with soul than they do? Because it's the fact. For some reason, you're just there. You're everywhere. Oh, it's coming. I believe that Eight of Swords, and there's the dichotomy right there. Somebody holds on to your energy because there's a lot of untapped love here. I think they want to tap it. I think we're getting close, and that's what this is saying, but we'll get there. I first want to pull on the King of Pentacles. I think this person sees themselves a certain way, okay? And I think the way they see themselves is bullshit. It's an exaggeration, and you're the real deal. you are the way they see themselves, and they know that they're a fraud. Okay? Something along those lines. Again, just catch my drift. That's all you have to do. All right. King of Pentacles, what do you want to tell me about it? They may also see you as viewing money and possessions differently than they do. You have a different perspective on that. They respect your perspective but don't know how to live within it. That's possible too. Okay? Just to give you another layer that's here, in case what I said before is like, well, I can't catch his drift. Well, try that. Okay? Maybe you have different family values than they do. You know? I know I have different family values than a lot of people. There's a lot of people that their families are complete assholes and they're terrible and they're this and that and treat them bad, yet they stay with them, and you ask them why. They say, well, because it's family. I don't believe it. I don't care. An asshole's an asshole. I don't care if we share DNA. I'm not going to put up with that shit. You know, so I have a different perspective on a lot of stuff that people do. I got cousins I'll never speak to again because they're just evil bastards. I don't care if I don't care if we share a grandparent. It doesn't matter to me. So I think you have different views on stability, different views on the way you live your life, different views on money, and I think they respect your perspective, but I think they wish they could maybe on some level live within it, but I don't know. It's something about it keeps them stuck, like deer in the headlights, you know. All right, let's see where we go. King of Pentacles. Why is that here? By the Chariot. It ties to all of this. I said deer in the headlights. This is my deer in the headlights card, the Knight of Pentacles. What's under this? I guess you want me to look. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're just different than they are. You approach life differently than they do. And yet you're both in the same place. That's what's weird. And that's what's hard to get across. You approach life differently, but yet you both end up in the same place. It's like, I can use popularity as an example, but again, you just got to catch my drift. Steve, I'm not popular. I get it. But you're both popular. You both end up successful, but you did it differently. You got there differently, but you ended up on the same level. I think they admire the way you got there versus the way they got there. Okay? That's the easiest way I can put it. What's on top? The Page of Wands. And why is that here? The Devil. When they look at you or think about you, this is thinking, this is feeling. When they look at you or think about you, you remind them how toxic their life is and how little chances they take, right? You got type A personality, a type B personality. Type B personality is going to do something spontaneous. Type A personality is going to be very boxy, very this and that, the other thing, right? You remind them that they've lost something, that they've lost their, I hate saying it, but inner child. They've lost their youthful exuberance for life and they get bogged down in toxin. When they look at you, when they think about you, all they see is their toxin. So I do think they think that you got there better than they did. That your way of approaching life and pentacles and practical things and money and family is the way to go. It's much more, well, sort of like my method, which is like water. It takes the shape of whatever it's poured into, right? You know, it is what it is. Okay, that's the best I can tell you there. I'll tell you what. And you want more? Fine. Bridging energy, 9 swords. Honestly, you've given this person some food for thought that they can't get rid of. You've changed this person on a fundamental level. They can't unsee it. They can't unfeel it. They can't unthink it. They can't unknow you. Okay? You showed them another way that they could have gotten the life that they've got. What they've got is probably a life of relative comfort. Could be. You know, there's some security. There's some kind of security blanket. There's some kind of, you know, whatever. And they got it. But they got it in a very toxic way. Not a lot of love. Not a lot of, you know, putting up with people that... Giving your loyalty to people that aren't very good inherently. I pick up, sometimes I'll pull on the energies around them. I am going to extend this. Because I got a devil here. I'll pick up some of the energies around them. Okay, I'll pull on that, but I usually don't get anything good. And people do that. They put their loyalties. This person gives their loyalty for bad reasons, for stupid reasons. All right? It's just, you never want to surround yourself with toxin. You don't. You will become that. You will take on some of that energy. You can't just block it. It won't happen. All right. I mean, you got to distance yourself from people that are toxic for you. It's just the way it is. It's a fact. End of story. It's just the way energy works. All right. 10 of Cups. Why is it here? This person never did that. They admire it about you, something, some aspect of you on some level. Something you planted, something you just remind them of all of that toxin. What's going on here with the 10 of Cups? Final outcome for you. I was talking about a hazy, dreamy energy here. I wish I was Rainbow Unicorn Tarot. I wish I could come out here and bullshit you and tell you probably this is someone here. It's going to take them a while. It's going to take them a while. But we're getting close. 9's are the end in tarot. Okay? At some point, there's a snapping point coming with this person. All right? It is what it is. They get there. There's a lot of people who, about half the people that used to watch the Leo soap opera, their person reached that snapping point and came in. It's just the way it is. It's just, you know, I mean, you either got a regular fuckwit or a super fuckwit. I don't fucking know. All right, here we go. 10 of Cups. I'm going to phrase it this way. Either, okay? Either your view of this person or their view of you, take it as it resonates, is bullshit, okay? 7 Swords is the environmental energy around this 10 of Cups. What the energy right now is doing, what does that mean to your final outcome? It doesn't really matter. Whether you're getting incredible clarity on this connection sometime during probably Mercury retrograde in Leo. Mercury retrograde in Leo is bringing back a lot of things. It's pairing with the Saturn retrograde energy. There's a lot of people from the past that are going to roll back. We've seen it in some recent readings, okay? But for the most part, it's okay if you just want to keep doing you, okay? You don't have to, just because somebody shows back up, you don't have to go have coffee with them. Or you don't have to do shit, all right? Some aspect, I'm going to say it's them because this is your final outcome. Some aspect of the way they view your connection is bullshit. And they're going to be shown the proper way of this connection, the proper what it is. I think that they take I don't think this is you. It could be you. But if we look at this picture, right, the kids are getting along, the boy and the girl. I mean, Dad would have yelled at the son along, stop hitting your sister. Those are words that come out of every dad's mouth at every park somewhere. You know, you don't see that. This is fairyland. It really is fairyland. So I don't think it's you, but it might be them. They have an idealistic view of what it might be like to be with you. Okay? If it is you, you're going to find out that maybe you need to tone it back a little bit. This person isn't necessarily 100% who you think they are. Or they might be, I would say, my advice to you would be this person's more messed up than you think they are. I'm being kind in my energy read because there's thousands of people watching. Okay? For a few of you, this person has been in a mental institution. They have to have. Or they're on some kind of heavy meds. This is like depression on crack for a few of you. Okay? For the rest of you, it's pretty much what I'm telling you. It's run-of-the-mill, somebody settled. You know. But anyway, so it's varying levels of energy. This is why it's difficult to pull reading for thousands of people. It's tricky. 4 Cups. Why is this here? 4 Cups. Why is that here? The Tower. Yeah. Before I pull the bridging energy, which is right there, it's that card right there, which will be the card that would, like bookend, be read with the 10 of Cups. Let's talk about this. When we pair that with 7 Swords at the bottom, there's something they missed. I think they find it. Now, it could be, again, either or. There's something either they or you. I'm going to say it's them. Okay? The roles can be reversed. There's something they missed. And it's going to cause, it's wakey time. Why do I say that? Because I have a 4 of Cups here on top of the 10 of Cups with a Tower. I have a Fool here that's fueled by 4 Cups. These are the same card. So, somebody feels forced into doing something here. Something goes on. Some some reality, some, I don't know. It could even be, for a few of you, it could be some information you got about this person was kind of fake newsy, if you will, maybe, and you find out the truth about that, and that changes everything. And that changes, either way, their view or your view or both of you, your view of this connection changes during this retrograde transit in some way. I think it's a piece of information coming your way. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, I'm right. The card that was at the top, the bridging energy, the one that would bookend the Ten of Cups, is the Wheel of Fortune, which turns everything. So I waited to pull that because I didn't look, and I wanted to see if I was right. I like to check. I like to read the energy first, then throw the cards, right? Wheel of Fortune proves every word I just said. It turns everything 180 degrees. So something, I think it's them. It feels more incoming energy to me. I think they get a dose of reality. I think that Ace of Cups that was underneath the crossing energy here spills a little. And I think somebody really starts to realize some things, and I think that's why we have a Nine of Swords here. All right? It almost feels like an energy of somebody that wants to make sure that you're there for the future, where they want to put you on a shelf in some way. I want you to be careful about that. That's why I said during Mercury retrograde, because it's pairing with Saturn retrograde and shit like that, the people are going to be returning a lot during this retrograde and all the way up through about a few weeks after it, to be honest with you. People are going to be returning quite a bit. You don't have to go with that, okay? Keep that in mind. Nobody says just because someone wants to talk to you that you want to talk to them. If you're taking care of you and you're doing you and business on your side, keep doing that. All right? That's just energy-wise, you've got permission to do that. It's no big deal. All right? But yeah, I do think that's what's going on here. Let's see what else we can get for you. One card and a crossing card. I gotta dig. I'm gonna have to dig on this. Let's see where we go here. One card and a crossing card. What else you want to tell everybody here in this Leo soap opera? It's sort of, I'm trying to describe more about this Seven of Swords to you. In relation to this, where you both got to the same place, but you got there differently, and they admire the way you got there versus the way they got there, and they're realizing that they got there kind of, a toxic way, if you will, maybe. You know, they give their loyalty to the wrong people for the wrong reasons. I think they realize that you're the same but different. It's sort of the same but different energy that Sesame Street tried to shove down our throats when we were kids. They're the same but different, right? That kind of a thing. I think that's it. I think somebody kind of, either you really get them, you really see them for who they are, or they really see you for who they are. Either way, that Wheel of Fortune's a big card. It's a 10. It's a 10 in the major arcana, bookending a 10 in the minor arcana. 10's at the end and dead end that lead to a new beginning. So somebody doing something here or figuring something out. Okay, because that's a 9. And we go to a 10. All right, one card and a crossing card. What else you want to tell everybody? Very interesting. Yeah, I'm right. It's Page of Cups, crossed by an 8 of Wands. There it is. Tarot gold right there, 8 of Wands. That's all communication. Whatever happens here, let it happen. Whatever dreams you have, whatever realizations you have, whatever bullshit you hear, let it happen. Just this is you in this reading right here. And on the table, this is you. You just sit there. All right? The information, the people, all of it comes to you. I think this person hopes you'll go to them. But the longer you don't, the more likely it is they come to you. Make your own decisions. Do what you want to do. But we're reaching a fever pitch here with this person. They're realizing they settled. And they're asking why. See, now that's the key. It's like I said before. Most people settle. But they never ask why. They just go through life, and that's it, and blah, blah, blah. The next thing they know, they're observing a funeral. Okay? They're flying around the room at a funeral going, oh, I guess that was it. Yeah, good for you. Way to collect no wisdom in the entire time you were here. Good for you, right? They're asking why. And that lights a fire. That's why we got towers here. You know what I'm saying? Tower, this is a big deal. We started, I think we started with a tower. Again, I don't remember the pre-shuffle, but unless I dreamed it, there was a tower in there. I'm pretty sure about that. If I'm wrong, that's fine, but there's definitely one here. That I can see. Again, I go pretty deep in the energy. Sometimes you can't see the surface of the water anymore, right? Using water as an anyway, I got communication here. All of this energy that they feel for you as well might be bringing a new love your way. When somebody, it's sort of like what I tell you about static energy. Go out and get some eyes on you. Wear your fancy bikini out there. Let people look at your ass. Don't get offended by it. It pick up static energy. When somebody else loves you, when somebody else is into you, it makes other energies into you. It's why the person who wears the wedding ring to the bar can pick up more chicks or dudes than the single person can. Right? It shows commitment. Somebody else loves this person. They must be bad. It's probably not rapey McRaperman. They're married. Hey, you know, people just go crazy. You know, it's just what it is. Energy, it's the same energy of the rich get richer. Same thing. You know, it's a snowball effect of energy. So this person that's why I say just let this play out. As a side note, as a final note to you, before I go pull some wicked voodoo on this, let this person play, let this all play out. Let the dreams happen, let them feel what they feel. It benefits you in some way. For a good number of you, it brings a new love your way. It's a massive amount of static energy on you because the energy that this person feels, this connection, is increasing. These are two very powerful major arcanas. So with that, it picks up a little more power. With that, it actually ends up making you more attractive to other people. So you may end up getting banged anyway. You may end up meeting somebody very special here because of this, right? And then this person might show up and you can do what you want, you know, whatever. Either way. It looks like a very productive Leo soap opera for a change. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you want the extended, I'm going to pull on. I'm going to go deep into the devil. I'm going to go so deep in the devil I won't even see the boat floating on the surface of that water. And we're going to see what's going on here. Why is the connection coming up? What's the connection about? And what's going on here? We got to go deep into their whys and why they're up all night. If you want the extended, there's probably a couple of links at the top of the description. I hope this reading was helpful. Good luck.